Hey guys, Johnny here, Don't Speak News. Well, we'll start here with news that a lot of people were speaking about. A 7.5 to 7.6 magnitude earthquake hits northern Japan. Tsunami warnings were issued. However, they have now been rescinded, or lifted, I should say. They've lifted the tsunami advisory for the Pacific coastline of northern Japan, which was, of course, prompted by the 7.5 magnitude earthquake earlier today. And so they say stay where you are, damage may be severe, more tremors are possible. And in fact, they're saying here the next mega earthquake in Japan could send the whole world into recession, and the probability of a major earthquake occurring within the next 30 years has increased significantly in northern Japan. And I think it's going to be a lot sooner than within the next 30 years. Like maybe within the next 30 days, we'll see. We'll keep our eyes on things like we always do. So now on to the censorship news at hand. Here we go. Substack, which a lot of people have been touting as, the alternative platform now because they don't censor. They really don't censor much of anything, or they haven't been up until now. So now Substack is capitulating to the UK's Online Safety Act, and they're trying to get a similar act passed here, guys. So don't think you're going to be immune to this in the United States, because you're not. This is going worldwide. And what it does is it forces users to provide a digital ID to access content. So they want to know what you're doing at all times, where you're doing it. That's why digital ID is here, so that they can ping you every time you check in with it somewhere. They know exactly what you're doing 24/7. Anyway, Substack has warned that posts, chats, direct messages, comments, and notes may also be blurred or blocked if they fall within the Act's definition of potentially harmful. So much for Substack standing up for no censorship. So Substack is just the latest platform to bend the knee to the United Kingdom's demands with this controversial Online Safety Act, which forces social media platforms, websites, and other select apps to provide a digital ID and age verification to access many forms of digital content, along with the ability for the government to effectively censor so-called mis- and disinformation, which is usually the truth. The law also grants the government the direct ability to scan messages on private communication apps. So if you think WhatsApp is safe, I remember Leland Jones used to tell me, you get WhatsApp, that's the only one that's safe. No, it's owned by Meta, Facebook. They're not safe. So, and now this law grants the government to spy on you no matter what app you're using or how private you think it might be. It's not. It never has been. Okay? They've always had this ability. Now they're just making it legal. However, the vast majority of people or popular apps and websites accessed in the West are American based. Yeah, like my website. They can kiss my butt. They think they're gonna blur out my website. And because of that, the UK has tried to exact dominion over American brands. Once again, kiss my ass, claiming that the United States First Amendment is not applicable and is subject to British authority. No, it's not. Sites such as 4chan are not willing to obey this and are being dealt with legally at the moment. X is also being sued by the European Union for a similar issue. But Substack, not so, and is yet another platform that has capitulated to the demands of the Keir Starmer, however you pronounce that, government. As pointed out by independent British-based The Expose, since November, British users of the platform have been hit with messages about providing their ID to access certain features of the website, even though the Substack team has claimed it's not in favor of the UK's Online Safety Act. But for money purposes, they're going to acquiesce anyway. So Rhoda Wilson for the Expose wrote, Substack compliance with these rules, despite its stated principles of free expression, marks a notable concession to the UK's regulatory regime. Paid subscribers with verified payment information are exempt from additional verification steps. The new restrictions aren't limited to posts. Substack has warned that chats, direct messages, and comments, notes may also be blurred or blocked if they fall within the Act's definition of potentially harmful. According to Substack's Help Center, age verification will apply to any publication or post containing the following. They say sexually explicit or pornographic content, content that encourages self-harm, including eating disorders or suicide, bullying or harassment, hate targeting protected characteristics. And examples would be race, gender, sexual orientation, of course, violent or graphic material. However, this is the type of content Substack is restricting. And so let's take a look at that right here. Here's what they restricted from the expose on Substack. UK's open border policy is not normal, nor is it acceptable. And so just based on the title alone, they're going to censor that in the UK because they think they're trying to get you to, they're gaslighting everybody in the UK, Ireland, all throughout Europe, here in the United States too, that the open border policy is just fine. It's totally acceptable. You're just intolerant. And so now they're going to censor you, maybe possibly even arrest you, which they've done a lot of in the UK and especially in Germany for posting that they say is not acceptable. So, all the women that are getting raped and harassed, including underage girls, boys, by all of the migrants in the UK, that doesn't matter. That's just fake news, according to them. All the grooming, no, that's not going on. Unbelievable. So now if you're in the UK and select the chat option on the left-hand side of the menu on Substack, you'll see this message. The chat feature is disabled due to your country's Online Safety Act content restrictions. Substack has blocked access to all chats. Also, previously restacked articles have been blocked. For example, this article by Laura Perrins, people in the UK who refuse to comply and verify their age can no longer view even the title or an image of the article. So what was the offensive article that Substack is censoring at the behest of the UK government? Well, I just showed it to you. It's about the open border policy not being acceptable or normal. And like the author says here, Jacob, another one bites the dust. It was inevitable. And the internet is dead. Truth, or the simple freedom to share things that are perfectly fine, no crime was committed, lies dead in the streets. Only government approved big business narratives are allowed to be shared and publicized, while the proliferation of fake commenters and AI slop now constitutes seemingly the majority, or it at least will very soon, of what we see online. The media is fake, the podcasters are plants, and the paid harlots for hire, it's all fake. Absolutely. Candace Owens, fake, controlled opposition. All of them are. Alex Jones, fake, controlled opposition. Tucker Carlson, fake, look at the red Kabbalah string on his wrist, controlled opposition. They're all flippin' actors. They're all flippin' fake. Wake up. Stop trying to tell me that Candace or Tucker's good to go. They're not. You notice how their rabbit holes, they just keep popping up, all these different rabbit holes over there. And they always lead you to the next rabbit hole. They never lead to any conclusions, never any solutions. Rabbit hole after rabbit hole to keep you distracted while they put up the digital prison all around you. Yet with all these sales pitches to introduce digital ID prisonry, it comes under the masquerade of safe and fair elections, protecting the sweet, dear, innocent children because parents can't parent for squat anymore. That's true. Combating illegal immigration, tackling harmful views and misinformation, and so on. This is why I've said I'll be trying to publish a number of my works I have written into books, just so I can protect some of my best work that I feel are important to preserve, because it is clear our time online is limited, absolutely. Where we either bow down to the new tokenized system or we don't, if it can even be fought at this point. And I don't believe it can. We're just going to have to do the best we can through Christ Jesus. That's all we can do. We can do all things through him who strengthens us. Right? No weapon formed against us shall prosper. We may be offline at some point very soon. That doesn't mean we're going to be irrelevant or out of the fight. So God will give us a new mission once this one ends. And I'm looking forward to that next step, that next phase, whatever it may be. Because I'm sick of this world and everything in it. Just about everything and almost everyone in it. I have a very small circle of friends that are close to me. And it's going to stay that way until we go home. or until the Lord comes and brings us all home. And he's coming soon. His name is Jesus Christ. He's the way, the truth, and the life. And no one gets to the Father but through him. Ask him to be your Lord and Savior today while he can still be found and while there's still time. Because time is definitely short. And that'll be it for now. Don't forget, don'tspeaknews.com is home base for all that we do. I put a lot of stories here that I just can't report on anywhere else, including, of course, on YouTube. And all kinds of stories like this one and this one over here, right? All kinds of things that we can't speak about anywhere else. All here in one place at don'tspeaknews.com. Almost, well, over 3,000 stories now. And if you want to subscribe, there's a subscription box at the bottom of every article, or you can just click this tab here. And then you just type in your email there, click subscribe, and you're in. And then if you want to email me some leads or some news links, don'tspeaknews@protonmail is the place to do that. And then for channel support, we are listener supported only. Without you guys, we don't stick around. So if you'd like to become part of the 3 to 5% that supports the channel, you can do that under the channel support tab right here. And all the links to do that are right there. And we thank you very, very much for that. And then for Rumble, BitChute, and Telegram, the places to find us around the internet besides the website, click on this tab. And all the links to find us, including YouTube, are right here. And that, folks, will be it for now. God bless. Take care. Johnny Storm. Don't Speak News.